Hi, everybody. Diana here at Sew in Common. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to share some fabric with you from a little impromptu shop hop I went on yesterday. And I have some great tips for you when you find fabric that maybe is a little bit older and has a little bit of an odor to it. So stick with me and I will share my great big fabric haul and my tips on what to do if your fabric doesn't smell nice and fresh, I guess you could say. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody, let's get started. So yesterday, my husband and I had to go down to his hometown to do a few things, and we ended up going on a little bit of an impromptu shop hop at two very unique shops. One of them, the first one, I'm going to show you my little haul from the first one, was set in a warehouse, kind of in a industrial park kind of area, and it's a little bit of a warehouse. This lady has a lot of Andover fabric. Um, Nothing that I would say was super current. Her fabrics are older, and you'll see when I tell you what's on some of these salvages, what that is. However, her shop was clean. Her prices for everything was $6.99 a yard. And she can do that because these are slightly older fabrics, but both they're the kind of fabrics you want to get and keep in your stash for when you need them. They all they all smell good. They're clean. Nothing in the world wrong with them at all. So she had a good selection of holiday fabrics. She has an enormous selection of batiks. Wow, are they fantastic? Um, and she had a small selection of panels. And so I got, because you guys, I've shared with you before, Dave's Biochemist, and they had this periodic table panel. It's like this on one side, and then the other half of the panel looks like this. So I got two of them because, when you're a scientist and your husband's a scientist, you need to have a lap quilt that has a periodic table. And I figure that, when friends and their kids come over and their kids are in their science classes, they can use the quilt to learn their do their homework. So these were great, and they were $6.99 a piece. But let's see, what can I tell you about them? They are from Rosemary Lavin Design, called It's Elementary. I love that name, for Wyndham Fabrics. And the pattern number is 52038P. Um, doesn't have a year on them, so I don't know what year these came out. But given that a lot of her fabrics were a few years old, I think this is probably a few years old. But like I said, these fabrics are in great condition. They're beautifully made and great fabrics to have in your stash. And she has all kinds prints. She didn't have a big selection of solids, but that was okay. And for me, I found a lot of blender fabrics that I loved. This one I just thought was adorable. I just think it's so cute. And I know I've seen it because it is by Riley Blake and it's called Garden Party. And let's see, I think I've got more information here. It's by Kira Job Design Studio. And this fabric is from 2020. I'm going to give you, do I have a number? Yes, C9563, C9563. So if you want to look for it, you can. It's called Garden Party, but I love it. Super bright, perfect for those spring and summer quilts. A nice size print, not huge, but a nice size print that even with smaller segment pieces, you can get good sizes of this print in it. So I love that one. And then I found this little raspberry. Now you can't see the dots color very well, I don't think, but these dots are orange. So it goes beautifully with that. So those are going to end up together in something. And this is an Andover. Like she had a lot of Andover fabric created by Andover. This is from 2019, pattern 9235. a little bit older, but still in good condition and still usable. Farther back you go, you have to decide, how much lifelong term is this fabric going to have? But 2019, 2020, I thought those would be okay still. And then I found this lovely little yellow with the white triangles. This is uh, Penny Rose Fabrics by Mary Malari. Um, C5465. Great blender, please. It's that fabric that reads as solid, print that reads as solid. You know how much I love those. Then this green one, this is that grassy green right when the grass first starts growing in the spring. It hasn't turned deep green yet. I love it. And it's got this great little pattern to it. And I think it's called Quattro something. Let me see here. Quartet Collection by Faye Burgess for Marcus Fabrics. Now, have you heard of Marcus Fabrics? They're not something that gets sold a lot in my part of the country, but Marcus, I believe, used to be from New York, and I believe they were bought by Timeless Treasures. And she has a ton of Marcus fabric. Really nice quality, good fabric. Again, everything was $6.99 a yard. So I bought a yard of everything that I bought because that's like getting it at half price when you look at your normal prices. Then I love these. And there were more colors, but I limited myself to 4. These little white stars on these color backgrounds. This beautiful green, the magenta, the lilac, and the lavender. And these are from Andover, again, from 2019, pattern 9166. That's the pattern, meaning the stars on a solid background. So, but from 2019, but these will go beautifully into quilts. And so those will go right into my stash. So that's what I got at my first shop. If you live in Illinois, or if you are from the Bloomington area, and that's a place you can go, then leave a comment below if you'd like to know more about the shop. I can send you her details because she gave me her business card, which I really appreciated. So great fabric, super nice lady, super nice person working with her. We had a nice chat together. I could have bought a lot more fabric there, but I knew we were going to try and see some other places. So I tried to limit myself a little bit. So now I want to talk to you about the second shop that I went to. This shop and I have a bit of a history. When Dave and I were first married back in the early 1980s, the very early 1980s, I went to this shop to buy my first really nice designer fabric. Up until that point, when I quilted with stuff I bought at Zayre's and the Kmart, when they used to have fabric, and Joann's, and anything that was in terms of, I didn't have money. We were both college students and newly married. We had no money. But I had been given some money as a birthday present or Christmas or something, and I found fabric there that I loved and was able to make our first really beautiful quilts with it. Back when the colonial blues and the dusty roses were very, very popular. So she has, when you walk into the store, I was blown away because it's not in the same place it used to be. It's just not too far away, but it is in a different spot. But I was blown away because she has this place packed out from ceiling to floor, from front to back, with fabric, cut and rolled into fat quarters, bolts of fabric, stacks of pre-packaged fat quarter bundles from Moda. And the thing about this shop that I didn't know when I went in there this time was that she only takes cash. So I had to go get a little cash from a bank. The next time I go down there, I'm gonna take more cash with me because I would love to have bought some of those fat quarter bundles, because she gave a 50% discount on something and everything is 20% discounted. And she's getting the new Ghastly fabric collection come January, and so I'm going to be going back down there for that. So I'll be taking some money. But this was a shop. was a treasure hunt. Fat quarters and buckets all over the floor, all over, up and down the aisles. The aisles were like you could just skim, one person could skim down them. She had boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of quilt pattern books as well. Don't ask her what. She might know what she had, but she didn't have anything on computer. So she might say, oh, it's like maybe in the third or fourth box. Those were all discounted as well. So the concern I had was that these fabrics have a bit of a smell to them, and it's only because she has fabrics in there that I know are at least 20, 25 years old. Because I've seen the fabric, I bought it when it was new, and she still has bolts of it. But she has lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of current fabrics as well. So I got this little fat quarters of this. So what I would do is I would find a bucket. I was just digging because it's kind of a treasure hunt, like I said. And if I found something I liked, I tried to get at least 4 fat quarters of it so I would have a yard. So I found this poinsettia, which I love, and I don't have any information on who made it or when it came out because there's no salvage with that information on these. But I love it. And then I found this green, very vintage. So it's the same green that's in the poinsettia fabric. Very, very vintage colors, and I absolutely love them. So I grabbed up, I found 3 of the greens and 4 of the poinsettia. So I grabbed up those. And for a couple dollars a fat quarter, my tips that I'm going to share with you will work perfect. And then she had all of this fig tree. This is my favorite fig tree collection. I love this collection. So I just picked up all I could. She also had bolts. So when I go back in January, knowing now that it's a cash only scenario, I will take enough money probably to buy all of her bolts because I love this so much. And I would love to make a big giant king size quilt for Dave and I with this fabric. Isn't that pretty? And so this is from Moda. Come sit with me under the harvest moon. That's this one. This is number 20420. I can't read what this says, but if you've seen this collection, you know what I'm talking about. Aren't those pretty? Oh, I love them. And she had, see how this has the grays and the taupes in it? She had that part of the collection too. Then I was able to find 3 of these, which I loved. These are from Moda. So she has lots of Moda in there, but she has lots of everything in there. I mean, if this fabric in this shop had been like laid out the way you would see it in a regular shop, her shop would have been at least 4 times larger than it was. Her shop is not too much bigger than my studio, and she's just got it filled. So I found 3 of those. I love those. I found this little yellow with the pinky rosebuds. Are they rosebuds? They're rosebuds. I love that. So pretty. And then I found this 14 fat quarter bundle. Now I think that she put 2 sets together because they're the same patterns, but they're obviously different colorways. I would not do this for holiday, but I'm going to do it for something, probably winter, because there is one in here that is definitely this one that looks like snowflakes. So this is definitely going to be a winter quilt. Look at that one. It has metallic in it. And this is, again, Moda, and it's called Merry Making is this collection, Merry Making. And then she has these in the greens and the whites too. Now this one, I actually think goes better with this collection because it's that bluish aqua color. Like that is actually metallic. So I think this goes best as one collection. This goes best as another. And I know these are a little bit older, a few years older, because I've seen these before, but I loved them. I thought they were really pretty. So those were the fabrics from the 2 shops I went to. But now I want to talk to you about this idea of one fabric. Yeah. These fabrics I bought from the one lady, no smell, great. I can tuck them in. These have a smell to them, and the reason they do probably is because we had so much stuff stuffed in on the floor, on the ceiling, on the wall, that just over time they get dusty. And that's the smell you're smelling. You're not smelling smoke or anything like that, but it's a dusty smell. So this is how I wash them. I never wash my fabrics in the washer. It will cause them to fray more because the agitation, it's like I tell you when you're doing your quilt tops, don't put the whole thing in the washer to wash away your stabilizer because that agitation will kill your fabric until it's completely made into the blanket. And then I we'll talk about that kind of thing later, but it's not something I would do for my whole quilt either. So what I do with these are fat quarters, is just like I do when I wash away my stabilizer from my segment blocks when we're making our pieces, our patchwork in the hoop, is I will take and fill up my bathtub. I'll give it a good wash out, fill up my bathtub, and then I'll add ivory snowflakes. That's right, ivory snowflakes, just like the stuff that we used to use to wash baby clothes, diapers. So I'm really probably aging myself by talking about cloth diapers, but yes, cloth diapers. Um, and then I let them soak in that for a good hour. Then I drain the water and fill it with just clear water and let them rinse out. Drain the water again, and then I add rinse water, and I add that free and clear fabric softener that I talk about in the stabilizer video. And then I take them all out. I give them a good squeeze, and I let them air dry overnight. They dry wrinkled, that's all right. But I let them air dry, and then the next day, or when I can get them, I press them. And I dry press them. I don't press them with any kind of spray because that spray is then in the fabric and it's starting to do its wear on the fabric. So I just dry press them. Then I fold them up nicely. They get put into my stash. And I know that I have to do these two right away because our newer, so we're just finishing up our Wednesday workshop with the Autumn Glory Mom and the Autumn Glory leaf pattern. Well, this is going to be for our next Wednesday workshop, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna love what we're gonna make with it too, because it is fantastic. And these are two of the fabrics that I'm going to use for that. I think I need to add a white to it as well. I think I'm going to need 3 colors. Pretty sure I need 3 colors for the pattern I'm designing. But I'm going to be washing these right away. So I could let these sit and wash them as I need them. But if I have time, I'm just going to try to get them all done because I know, like the fig tree, I know I want to work with that. These pieces that are more blender pieces, these will probably go into more samples and things like that. But when you're washing, first wash, full tub, let them soak with ivory snowflakes 1 hour. Drain, fill with water in the tub. Nothing in the water this time. Just let the pieces soak in there. 30 minutes. Drain. Fill with water again. And when I'm talking tepid water, not hot, not cold, tepid, just room temperature, slightly warm. Then put in your free and clear fabric softener, soak for 30 minutes again, drain, squeeze the water out, hang them around to let them drip dry, as we used to say, and then dry press them once they've air dried. And your fabrics will be fine. They'll be great. That musky smell will be gone and they'll be ready to work with. Okay. And probably when you get fabric like this, the sooner you can do that, the better to get that musky dustiness out of them. Now, I'm not putting down this lady's store because I'm going back. It is a little overwhelming when you first walk in, but I love it. So if you want to know this store and you're in the area and you want to give it a try, contact me and I'll get you the information. And you can contact me and ask me the names and stuff of the stores that support at stolencommon.com. Leave a comment on the video as well. So I just wanted to share that with you and share my tips on how I clean these fabrics when they're a little musty. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you liked seeing all the beautiful fabrics that I brought home yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Dave was a super good sport. He was the one that ran bank to get cash so I could get these fabrics I was just showing you. And I know we'll be going back down probably towards the end of January, beginning of February when that new Ghastly series comes in because I love the Ghastly fabrics too. Almost as much as I love Tula. Perky. They're just perky. I love them. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some tips on cleaning your fabrics and the kinds of fabrics that you want to put in your stash. I don't put a lot of big prints and stuff in my stash because they're going to trend out in not a lot of time. But these smaller patterns, these smaller blenders, they're going to be something that you can go back and look at and want to use for a long time. So I hope you enjoyed today. Thanks for tuning in while I shared my little shop hop, impromptu shop hop with you all. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already yet. We'd love to have you. This week we have coming up our Wednesday workshop video where we're going to do quilting in the hoop, some finished quilting in the hoop. And there is no video Friday for the quilt along because this is week 5 coming on Friday, and it gives you a free week. Then we're back for week 6 where we're going to finish up the quilt. Okay, so please consider subscribing. Please consider liking and sharing the video so I know the things that you guys like to watch and so that YouTube will push those videos out for others to see as well. If you'd like to try our In the Hoop patterns, you can go to our website. We have tons of free patterns from our blocks of the month during this year. And we also have our Build a Quilt system as well. That's not, the Build a Quilt system is not free, but I should tell you, we have the basic set 2 coming out relatively soon in time for the holidays. And we're going to be having our only sale of the year on our Build a Quilt systems, which are these basic sets. So you might want to stay tuned for that as well. All right, everybody. I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. And until next time, like I tell you all the time, go make beautiful quilts and sew life beautiful. Bye for now.